The 1%er Podcast with Sam Bakhtiar, bringing you the 1% knowledge to help you reach your full potential. Learn what it takes to rise above the 99% and become a 1%er.
Hey, what's going on? It's Sam Bakhtiar, the host of a 1%er Podcast. We are inside the Iron Attic Gym, somewhere in Long Beach, in the middle of nowhere, Long Beach.
Yeah.
You know, with my man, the myth, the legend, and my good friend that I love so very much, man, C.T Motherfucking Fletcher.
Hell yeah, got my name
What's up,
right and
brother?
everything. Long time no see, man.
I know, man. Last time we worked out, it was like 2013.
Yep.
And I just showed up to your gym, called you out.
Yep.
And you whooped my ass. You were doing 100-pound dumbbells. I was talking about crew. You're doing 100-pound curls, and I was just trying to go like this. I was doing like 1/8 of a way up, and it was fun, man. It was good times.
It was a whole lot of fun, and I remember that like it was yesterday. And I must say, you know, back then I was talking a lot of shit. That was my whole thing. I talked plenty of shit. And Sam was the only one who stepped up and said, let's see if this motherfucker is for real or not.
You know what, man? I was like, man, this guy talks shit. I don't care if I get my ass whooped. I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out on my shield. And I came out, and I went out on my shield.
Hey, that's that 1%er shit right
Yeah.
there, man. Only
Yeah.
1% would have dared to do that shit. I mean, I talk shit to everybody,
Yeah.
but only one person stepped up. That was you. I respect you from that day to this one and always will for doing that.
Thank you, man. Thank you for, the honor of working out with you that day. You changed my mentality. And going back, man, I mean, you are a true representative of 1%er. I mean, all your life, you mastered one thing. You're not a jack of all trades and master of none. You mastered this shit. You mastered. Can you tell me from the beginning, how did you get into weightlifting? How did you fall in love with it? And some of the things that led you to who you are right now.
Well, I started out wanting to be a fighter. At least that, I thought that was the real, because as growing up as a kid, Muhammad Ali was my idol.
Yeah.
I loved him so much, still love him to this day, so much that I actually had my name legally changed to Ali, my middle name. So I thought I wanted to be a fighter, and I started out fighting in karate tournaments. They call them point tournaments back then. And then I soon found out that I didn't like getting hit in the head every goddamn day. I said, this is fun sometimes, but not every fucking day, So I went to Venice Beach. I'm out at Venice Beach with my wife, and we strolling up and down the beach, and all of a sudden, here I am, I'm a second-degree black belt, feeling pretty good about myself, and I see some big, gigantic motherfucker on the beach flexing. And this motherfucker had a crowd of people just gathered around him like he was the second coming of Jesus Christ. And I'm like, wow, how could this guy, he's this fucking popular, what's so special? And I got up closer and closer, and the motherfucker was huge. There was a guy named Craig Munson. And I seen Craig Munson, that changed everything from me wanting to be a fighter. I said, I want crowds around me too, shit. So let me go back to, I started when I was really young, but I gave it up to try to pursue fighting. And then I went back to it after I seen Craig Munson.
So what was the first time, how old were you the first time you lifted a weight?
I'd say I was 12.
12, and then you went to fighting for a while?
Mm-hmm, yes.
And when did you go back again and get serious about weightlifting?
I probably was 21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
So at 21, you went back in the gym like, I want to be what do you call it, sidewalk cracking motherfucker.
That's exactly it. After I seen Craig Munson, I said, I want to crack some fucking sidewalks. Because that motherfucker looked just like, he would fuck a sidewalk up if he stepped on this shit, man. He stepped on stage, he was 280 pounds on stage. And we talking back in 1980.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we see a lot.
But they didn't have people that big.
No, not. He looked like a fucking alien, man. Just something out of a comic book. He looked like the Incredible Hulk for real.
So that gave you the motivation. He was like your poster board. Like,
Yeah.
That would be like him, right?
That was it, yeah.
Okay, so where'd you go? Where'd you go to work out? What gym? Tell me your routine. Tell me your eating habits and everything leading up to it.
Okay, I went to a gym called Claude McDonald's, which was a youth center in Compton. It was a youth center for, wayward youths, and we had plenty of them in Compton, and it was free. So I went there, and after they would shut it down when Tookie and Jamel Barnes would go into the rec center there in Compton, and they would shut the gym down while the Crips trained. So we had to wait until Tookie and Jamel and them got through, then we could go in and train.
Who are they?
Tookie was the founder of the Crips, or one of the co-founders of the Crips.
Oh shit! So they shut the gym down. Like that's their time.
That's Crip time now. And they shut it down for them. And they would get their workout in. We wait, until it was empty, and then we go in there and train.
Oh wow! Yeah. So you tell me about your training method, because I've trained with you, man.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was training with you, man, and I didn't know what the rules was. I asked CT how many reps, and the whole gym stopped. Yeah. Everybody started laughing. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell y'all laughing at? They're like, what do you mean reps? Yeah. I'm like, you do till you can't do no more.
That's it.
That's how many reps.
Until you can't do no motherfucking more. That's how many.
So I know that's your training method.
Yes.
Totally exhaust the muscle.
Yep.
Until like your muscle just totally exhausted, you can't lift the weight no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because see, that is the way I learned. At that Claude McDonald Youth Center that I'm telling you about, and then when that closed down, we went to the backyard. And that's the way we do it. I looked my training partner in the eye, whoever was there, and I say, look, I ain't stopping till you stop, motherfucker. He said, well, shit, I guess we're gonna be here till tomorrow, because I ain't stopping either. And that was the mentality. You're not gonna outdo me. And and his job was not to let me outdo him, and my job was not to let him outdo me.
So tell me how long your training sessions last. If we got in the room, I got nothing to do. You don't got nothing to do, man. Like I'm not gonna leave.
That's
exactly
you're not
gonna
right.
leave. So how long the training session last?
Oh, I'll tell you what. I worked 8 hours a day, or unless it was overtime, at the post office. For 28 years. So I would come in. I get to the gym about 4 o'clock from work, and I usually work out to about 10 at night.
So there's a 6-hour training session.
Yeah.
You all just going at it reps after reps, set after set, and just totally.
Yeah, until that's exactly right. Until Saturdays, if you work out on Saturdays, me and I had a buddy named Stone Pony or Big Jim. Stone Pony was nickname. His name was Big Jim Brick, and Big Jim, he was my huckleberry, as they say. Mm-hmm. As long as I wanted to be there, he would be there. So we went in 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and we didn't leave till 8 o'clock at night that same Saturday. We just go up. I said, fuck, I ain't leaving. I ain't even leaving, motherfucker. You ain't gonna outdo me.
So that's a 12 hours.
12 hours.
So basically, gym was getting away from reality, working out, getting away from just getting in trouble. You probably out doing some shit in Compton, doing some shit you weren't supposed to.
Most
so
definitely.
Would you say that gym was an outlet for you?
Oh, most definitely, man. That was, it was my that was my safe haven, my place, of tranquility, where I used to tell everybody that my psychologist is on the end of a 45-pound bar. A lot of people spend a lot of money in therapy, but I got my therapy right there in the gym.
I feel the same way, man. CT, some of the toughest times that I've faced in my life. A lot has happened since we've seen each other last time we worked out each other. I've gone through a pretty bad divorce. I got remarried. Have a new baby boy and all that kind of stuff. But I remember when I was divorced, I sat in a real room. I went and moved in a hotel, and just left, and sat in a room, and I'm like, you know what? What should I do? Should I go out to the club, start drinking, start chasing women? I'm single now. Let me go back to my old ways.
Yeah. I'm
like, you know what? No, I'm gonna concentrate on work. I'm gonna concentrate on just getting back in the gym. And I remember just going to the gym and just working out for hours.
Yeah.
Hours.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the gym, it was with drugs, alcohol, or just start, chasing women and getting in trouble with shit that I wasn't supposed to. So that was my positive way out. You being in Compton, being around gangs and drugs and all that kind of shit that happens in the hood, this probably saves your life.
Oh, most definitely. That and Buddy Fletcher, my dad, which he would have beat the shit out of me anyway, because he didn't believe in gangs. He said, no, I'm the gang you got to worry about, motherfucker. And his explanation for everything was, cause I fucking said so. I mean, that's your expertise. You want to know why? Because I fucking said so. That's why. I tell you, your ass to be home at this time, motherfucker. You better be home at that time, or you gonna be paying a visit to the emergency room.
Yeah.
So Buddy Fletcher did not play. So,
You know, last time I talked to you, you know, God bless his soul, he was alive.
Yeah.
And I think you said he passed away last year.
Yes.
You know, you told me the same thing you did last time. He goes like, your dad didn't play.
No.
Your dad, you know, whooped your ass. And I remember one time you said that even it was like 4, 5, 6 years ago, you walked in, you all swole, and he said, hey, you think you can whoop my ass?
Yeah, Pops didn't play. It was a little bit longer ago than that, but I was, you know, a second-degree black belt, fighting in tournaments and shit. And Pops told me I'd stand out in the front of his church. Now, he's a preacher, right in the front lawn of his church. Pops said, what you want to do? I don't give a fuck about all that tournament, kicking and all that shit. What you want to do? I said, you know, it kind of tickled me, but, you know, he wasn't bullshitting, though. You know, kind of like that.
He's just an old school dude,
Hell
hard
yes.
work ethic.
Yep.
Hey, I'm your dad, you're my son, you know, I pay the bills, you do what I say as long as you're inside of my house.
Yeah. I wasn't in his house then when he told me that
Even
shit.
that, you're still my son.
Hey, that's right, I don't give a fuck. You got kids and shit, I don't give a fuck about none of that. You kicking and shit, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. What you want to do?
Oh,
I
my
said,
God.
damn, Pops.
So what do you attribute that you've taken from your dad and made you who you are today?
Well, Pops was a no excuses kind of dude, and you know, one of my sayings is fuck excuses.
You know, it's so funny you said I was listening to that.
Yeah.
This morning.
Oh, yeah.
When I was training.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Fuck excuses.
Fuck excuses, man. People come up with all kinds, as you know.
Yeah.
And some of them piss me off. They be so piss poor, you know, the excuse they come up with. You know, I got a little ache in my knee. I scratched my pantyhose, and I don't think I can train today, CT. Oh, man, mistake. That's why I was a horrible personal trainer. Because, you know, when they start making excuses, I'd be like, take your motherfucking ass back home.
Yeah.
Fucking, I was broke too, Sam. I needed the money, but I didn't give a fuck.
But I mean, at the end of the day, man, you're doing them a disservice if you put up with their bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You pay me to get you in shape.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
I can't do it for you.
Right. A lot of them didn't see it like that, but they would have one session. I wouldn't see them no motherfucking more.
But you could have sold out and said, you know what, I need the money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put up with that bullshit, talk shit behind their back. But you know what? Somebody who sticks to their morals, values, and stuff like, look, man, here's what you gotta do. You don't like it, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ass be broke, but yeah.
Ass be broke, yeah.
You got some more.
I'll eat
Still got my morals, but I'm broke.
I'll eat tuna again.
Yeah.
Shit, you know what I mean?
Some more top ramen, as Cali Muscle likes.
So I remember, man, you saying that at one point your diet consisted of McDonald's pretty much every day.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I remember when I was broke, I don't know if you remember, McDonald's had 29-cent hamburgers and 39-cent cheeseburgers. You remember that?
Come on, Sam. Hell yes.
I remember go getting like 10 or 15 of them. I would eat 5 or 6, and I would put it out into the freezer.
Look.
I would pull them out, warm up.
Sam, I remember when the Golden Arches was the new hamburger stand on oh damn, we're going to McDonald's? That's the new shit. So yeah, I ate McDonald's every day for lunch. When all the 28 years I was at the post office, I ate it every fucking day.
So you left it real hard and then just ate whatever you wanted.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought powerlifting consisted of. You know, when I started out, like I said, I started in the backyard, and it was super high reps and just go till you couldn't go no more, just trying to outdo each other. That's where all the high rep stuff came from. Then I switched over to powerlifting, and I wanted, try my hand at that because it's always just naturally strong, and I just want to see who's the strongest. That's what I liked about powerlifting.
So you did bench.
Yeah.
You did bench, squats, and deadlifts.
Yeah, I did all three, but the one that I excelled at was bench press.
Bench
so
press.
that's the one I did in competition. I did all three in the gym, but in competition just bench
What's the
press.
highest bench you ever done?
705.
705. Mm-hmm. Damn. What's the highest squats you ever done?
This is real funny, but 750 is damn near.
That's still a lot, though.
Yeah, but it's close to the bench press. You should be able to squat a lot more than you can bench.
And how about deadlifts?
Deadlift was a little over 700 in the deadlift.
And that's weighing how much?
I was weighing 325. So that's not a whole lot for somebody weighing that much.
I can't even imagine you weighing 325.
Yeah,
but I think I
bro.
see pictures. Your
Yeah.
face was this big.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Head, yep. No neck, head, fucking look like Shrek.
So the whole time you were powerlifting, you know, and getting in this game, I know like a lot of people, you know, I know I've used steroids in the past. You know, I know like I competed at top level body. Have you ever thought about it, or have you ever used it?
Not only did I thought, and this, I want to make this so, I'm glad you asked me, but I've, you know, said it a bunch of times, but I want to make it real clear. People say, ooh, CT, ooh, like, we busted you. You admitted that you took, the thing is, nobody could bust me. Because we're talking before steroids were illegal, and you know, like 80, you know, when I first started, the people would tell me, I let people talk to me and tell me that if I wanted to be on the cover of magazines, and I did, that this was the only way to do it.
Of course, you were in your 20s.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Who doesn't want to be in the cover of magazine
look,
in their 20s?
I was a very young man, they told me that I could make a living doing what I love to do anyway, which is lift weights, if I would just take steroids. And you know what, that shit sounded real good to me, Sam. So, at a very young age, I tried them. I definitely tried them. And I tell people that I admit to people, yes, but there's no way that anybody could go back and check my records. Or I had to admit, I'm telling motherfuckers that the only way you know is because I told you.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah, not to hide, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm like, that's exactly. I'm coming out telling you the truth, and they still don't want to believe it. I said, look, you know, I told them I experimented with them when I was very young, before it was even illegal, but I never felt, my conscience always bothered me, I should say. Whenever, I didn't want, I had a young son, and I never wanted my son to know that I took steroids. So I felt guilt and ashamed. And I think that anything that makes you feel guilty, now if you don't feel guilty and you don't feel ashamed, fuck it, that's, you know, no problem. But I'm just saying, speaking for me, it made me feel guilty, it made me feel ashamed, so I had to stop. I had to stop. And you know, and I didn't get into powerlifting, first of all, and I didn't set, because at that time I wanted to be a bodybuilder. I wanted to be Mr. America. I seen the guy, you know, Craig Benson out there, and I look at the cover of Ebony magazine. They had Chris Dickerson was on the cover of Ebony magazine. I said, God damn, Mr. America. And at that time, Mr. America was even bigger than Mr. Olympia. It was more popular way back. Mr. America was the title. And I wanted to be Mr. America. And they said, if you want to be Mr. America, then you got to take steroids. I said, I mean, that guy did take steroids. I didn't even know what the fuck steroid was. That guy did, yep, they all of them take. I said, all of you bullshitting. Because I figured, you know, you just didn't have to. I thought every guy in the magazine was just eating and lifting weights. I thought that's what all of them was doing.
That's what I thought too.
I thought they all was doing. I said to everybody, no, you don't gotta take no drugs, man. That's bullshit. I thought they was just, because I know that a lot of guys that's in the hood in Compton, where I grew up with, was not taking steroids. First of all, we're too fucking poor to take steroids.
Got no money.
Yeah, ain't no money for no damn steroids. You're trying to eat. You know, you ain't no money. So there's no way. I said, nah, I know. But what they was doing was coming out the joint. Yeah, Craig Munson included. He's like a brother to me now, but he was also, I think he did 11 years. So I had
back then you had weights in the prison.
Right. They took him out because they had monsters. They was coming out like fucking monsters, man, and it was no such. So I figured that was, well, you don't need, if you can look like that without taking steroids, you don't need no fucking steroids. But I let these motherfuckers talk me into it, and peer pressure, fuck peer pressure. Fuck your peers. Fuck them in. If they tell you, hell yes.
Do what you stand for.
But see, I was weak for a moment there because the appeal of being in the magazines, the appeal of doing this for a living. I was at a job that I hated. I worked at the post office. I hated working at that motherfucker. So I'm like, damn, if I could get out the post office by doing this, maybe it's worth a try. But fuck that.
But that was like earlier in your career.
Oh yeah, very. It was like I said before it was, so it had to be like 81 or something. It'd be right before they became illegal. So it'd be like, because I went to a doctor. He gave me looked in my ears, looked in my eyes, said, okay, here's some Decker.
Yeah. Like that?
Yep,
Yeah.
just like that.
Yeah, man. So as far as now, last time, I remember working out with you, in 2013.
Yeah.
You had the bypass, the valve. What is that?
I had a
the
valve
stent.
replacement.
Yeah, the valve replacement,
Yeah.
right, in your heart. And I remember working out with you, and you came in and said, you took my fingers and said, Sam, check this out. And you put it right here. And I just felt blood squirts like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the F? I was freaked out.
Yeah.
And you was like, Sam, this is the kind of shit they don't show you on YouTube.
Right. It's real shit.
It's real
right?
shit. And I was like, wow. So you had that, and you still were lifting heavy, lifting hard, and man, you had a heart replacement. You're still in the gym.
Yeah, I'm just crazy like that. And back then, in 13, had been 8 years since that operation, so I had recovered. By the time you came, I had recovered and was training hard again. So I had my aortic valve replaced. So they put a metal valve in, you could hear it ticking and feel it also. So we would train together, and I was still doing old man was still doing pretty good back then. I had, quite a bit. I hope it don't take me 8 years to recover from this one, but this is a horse of another color, Sam. It's a lot more.
That's a whole different story. You had heart replacements.
Yep, that's right.
And I don't even know too many people that have had that.
Yeah.
I don't even know too many people that have had that. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause I know when I was a kid, if you told me, I was stuff in Frankenstein movies, was to take the heart out of another person and put it in another body, and then that body lived. That was like Dr. Frankenstein. You didn't do no shit. So they did that, the first one in 68, and I was born in 59. So when I was a kid, that was unheard of.
So when did they say, CT, we got a problem? You need a heart replacement surgery. How'd that come about? Well, how were you feeling? What happened? And take me through that whole process.
Okay, we was on the road hard, going to different expos and overseas. I did a lot of traveling overseas in Russia. We went to Australia, England. We went all over the place. And I kept telling my wife for the longest, baby, I don't feel right. I don't feel right. Something is not right. I just don't feel good. And I was like that for quite a while. But, like I said, it's still you motherfucking said. Yeah. So I kept going, man. I just kept going, kept pushing myself. And then one day I'm sitting at home talking to my son, Samson, and it felt like my chest an elephant just sit on my chest, man. It was just, I had a heart attack, and it was tremendous pressure. It was pressure. It was so much pressure that it was hard to even talk. I couldn't hardly speak. And I knew I was dying, man. I knew there was no question about it. This is it. I'm dying. Any breath, because it was very hard to take a breath, but any breath could be my last one.
Wow.
And, I felt it. I just felt death on me, And I told my son I could get with a little bit. I said, I'm sorry. I got to leave. I'm sorry I got to leave a little ahead of time, but Daddy not going to make it. I said, I ain't going to make it. And he looked me in the eye, Sam, he said, yes, you are. And I was like, bullshit. I'm feeling this shit, man. I knew, because I had been at death's door before, so I know what it felt like. Because during the first operation where they changed the valve, I flatlined 3 times. Yeah, during that surgery, my doctor told me we had to fight like hell to get you back, during the surgery. Man, you was out of here 3 times. You was gone. And, in my mind, I'm picturing that's death and angels struggling over, we're going to keep him. Death is like, I got him, I'm going to keep him. And the angel's like, no. And then finally, God stepped in and settled this. Take your hands off of him. And I ain't done with him yet. So Death had to back up, but Death didn't want to give up easy, man. He was pulling. He pulled 3 times. He tried to get me. Wow. God said, not yet.
So when you went, they took you to emergency room. I assume, you know, and the doctor said you had a heart attack.
Yes.
Okay. So usually you have a heart attack, that's cool. I mean, you can still recover from a heart
Yeah.
attack. So it was more than that.
Yes.
So what was it that he said, okay, well, it's not just a heart attack. You just need a whole new motherfucking
Yeah.
heart.
Well, what they went in and he said what we're going to do is give you what was the trip is on the way to the hospital. One of the ambulance drivers said, "Aren't you C.T. Fletcher?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm C.T. Fletcher."
Damn YouTube.
Yeah, and what I want you to know, I said, if I don't make it to the hospital, I want you to let everybody know that I ain't afraid to die. And he said, "Mr. Fletcher, you're not gonna die." And I'm like, "Fuck. Well, why did this shit feel so bad? You know, it feel like I'm gonna die, man." But he said, "You're not gonna die. We're not gonna let you die." Gave him some nitroglycerin, got there, and they told me that I had a massive heart attack. And their next remedy, the next thing they could do to try to prevent me having a heart replacement or a whole heart transplant was a pacemaker. So they put a pacemaker, installed a pacemaker in. About 10 days later, they sent me home.
Okay.
Yeah, had the pacemaker put in. And then shortly after the pacemaker was put in, my heart stopped. So yeah, I'm sitting there talking to my wife this time like I'm talking to you. And next thing I know, I'm laughing and joking and shit.
And this went down.
Bam, gone. It's a good thing I was already sitting on the bed because I would have hit the floor.
Damn.
And I passed my wife, when I come to, my wife was standing there looking at me like she's seen a ghost. You know, and I'm like,
Well, I mean, yeah, you don't think somebody's gonna recover after that, do you?
So I'm like, what's wrong, baby? You know, because I'm telling you, Sam, what I remember was I remember going out, and I tell people, they say, how can you describe it? And it's like, you remember old black and white TV sets?
Yep. Yeah, sure
Okay,
do.
now when you yank the cord out of the wall, you guys don't know, you're too younger, but if you yank the cord out of the wall on an old black and white TV set, it take a while before the picture go out. It start going like they get real tiny to a little dot. My picture, when I passed away, the picture just did just like that. And in this time, by the time it got to that little tiny dot, only thing I had time, I was like, man, you know that this is the end. Yeah, I had no doubt that I was dying. I knew this was permanent. I knew I wasn't dozing off to sleep. This is some permanent shit that's finna happen right here, and I ain't coming back.
You just saw your
Yep, just. And I said, okay, there's a permanency about this, and you know that I'm not finna just nod off, that I'm dying. You know you're dying. So all I had time to say was, I called my wife's name. I said, B. I was gone. And then the best sleep, the best rest ever. This is not like a nap, a good restful nap. No, brother, I mean, this peace is like no peace I've ever known. It was the most peaceful time ever. I felt like I had been asleep for 24 hours.
When you went out until
Yes.
you woke up.
When I woke up, I
And
felt
how many hours passed it?
My wife said it was like 4 minutes. And it felt like 24 hours of sleep. She said I was gone for like 3 or 4 minutes. And to me, I was so well rested. I felt like running the Boston Marathon when I woke up.
Damn.
It was unbelievable.
And then you called the ambulance, or did you go to the hospital?
No, I didn't even go that day.
What?
No.
You just basically died and came back alive.
Yeah.
You didn't even go back to the hospital.
No, I didn't go. I hate hospitals. The last place on earth I
You're
want to
crazy.
go. I said, look, if I go to the emergency room now, I told my wife, if I go to the emergency room now, they just gonna keep me all fucking night, and probably be waiting in the waiting room for all fucking night, and just send me back home, give me some. I can do that shit here at home. I take a couple of nitro tabs. And I went in the next day, and they said, Mr. Fletcher, your heart stopped. They had the pacemaker, so they can hook it up to this machine and check out and tell everything that would happen. They said at exact time, your heart stopped at this exact time. So you stopped, and you was, they called. I said I died. The doctor said, no, technically it was called a pause. I'm like, okay,
but that pause, man, like 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm looking, my fucking heart stopped. As far as I'm concerned, I'm dead, motherfucker. So he was like, no, you paused. I said, okay, doc, you call it what you want to call it. I'm going to call it what the fuck I want to call it. As far as I'm concerned, I was dead. My heart wasn't beating for 2-3 minutes. I'm gone. So whatever the fuck time, however long it was, but it felt like I was. And after something like that, then it just removed all fear of death. People worry about dying and they're so concerned about it. It was the most peaceful time I've ever experienced, and it just took the fear of death completely away.
So that 4 minutes that you died was the most peaceful thing that you ever experienced?
Ever. Nothing even came close to it. Very peaceful. Wow. Yeah.
Wow, man, that's just, I'm just, wow. So right now, I come to the gym, you're still doing some arms, you don't look like you used to, but you still look great. I know you too hard on we're hard on each other. Yeah. We know what you can look like. What restrictions do you have right now with the new transplant and everything else? What restrictions have they put on you as far as working out, as far as and as far as dietary restrictions?
Yeah, well, diets has to be clean, of course, and no more double cheeseburgers. But
because we went to FLETCHER or something like that after we worked out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I still have that back then. I still could have me a cheeseburger instead of. So I wasn't super clean, but I love FLETCHER, man. So, but no more FLETCHERs, no more double cheeseburgers. But and I have to lift really light now, really light, and that kind of hurts my feelings. But lifting light and being dead, I lift light.
No doubt, no doubt. But I know you, man. You're somebody that you don't care, man. They can't keep you away from the gym.
Oh no.
Because this is your peace. This is your sanctuary. This is where you come, to resolve things in your mind.
Exactly.
You know what
I mean? And I see Ronnie Coleman, King Coleman, still training, and I see a lot of people talking shit. Oh, Ronnie, you should give it up, man. You should just stop. Be careful. And what they don't understand about Ronnie and myself is if we can't do this,
you die.
We already dead.
Yeah, you die.
That's exactly right,
exactly.
Sam. It's already dead.
This is who you are. This is your DNA. They can't keep you away in doing something that you enjoy for the last 40, 50 years.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's that Ronnie Coleman in training is inseparable. Yeah. C.T. Fletcher in training is inseparable. Yeah. It's not, this and that. It's the same. Yeah. C.T. training, Ronnie training is the same. So I understand why Ronnie Coleman does what he does. And if he ain't fucking worried about it, I want what the fuck is somebody else worried about it for? What the fuck are you Instagram and YouTubing motherfuckers worried about it for? Yeah. That's what he wants to do. And if that's what he want to do,
Instagram, YouTube motherfuckers.
Let him do it.
I remember when we first met and worked out, back in 2013. When I come in, man, you had a bunch of groupies around you. People love you, and people still love you, but when you're at the top, people want to ride with you, want to be around you. Then all of a sudden, when you plummet or whatever you do, you know what I mean? You went, you had a heart attack, you went through a rough time, and all that kind of stuff. Tell me about were everyone with you, or did you lose contact, or for me, when I've been at the top, everybody's with me.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, when I went through a divorce, I was going through a hard time. When I all of a sudden, when I was broke, and nobody was around me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you experience the same thing?
Well, lucky for me that my crew or the people that are really with me, my family.
Yeah.
7 kids. My 7 kids is my company, Iron Addicts. My 7 kids. Yeah. So they run everything. So they didn't abandon me. But, brother, let me tell you, I went through some hard times, because I wasn't able to get out there. If you're active, if that's how you make your money by traveling around and making appearances, and I wasn't able to do any of that shit. I'm flat on my back for months. Yeah. But there was people, Athlean X stepped in. Athlean X stepped in, and I ain't gonna say what he did, but he stepped in. Dr. Dre stepped in big time. And if it wasn't for those people, those couple people right there, I probably would have went under. But so I owe them Jeff Cavalier, right? That's Athlete X.
Yeah, I know, Jay. He's shredded, motherfucker.
Man, yes, to the bone.
Yeah,
Motherfuckers looks like a fucking anatomy
Yeah,
chart.
yeah.
He stepped in, and Dr. Dre stepped in and kept the old man afloat. And, you know, so I owe them motherfuckers a lot.
Oh, man, that's, you know, it's always good people here, man.
Yep.
You've done so much for the community. You've done so much for people. You've inspired. To this day, you know, every week, not a week goes by without me, watching or listening to some of your motivational stuff. I was actually doing it this morning. You know, I just got pump me up on the way to the gym. You know, and you have paved the way. You know, now, you know, how old are you right now?
60.
You're 60 years old. Okay, what's next for C.T. Fletcher? I mean, you literally are the face of motivation when it comes to iron. I mean, everybody knows they want to get pumped up to go to the gym. I got kids saying it's still your motherfucking set. I got old man saying still your motherfucking set.
Man.
You know, I got everybody saying fuck average.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your sayings is all over the world, all over the country, all over the world. What do you want to accomplish in the next 10?
The next 10, hopefully I can retire somewhere in there. But I really want to retire in 5 years. At 65, I want to retire and be done, and you know, go out feeding ducks and shit in the next 5 years. But my 10-year, my main, you know, emphasis now, my main thing that I want to do. Back when I was young, my main thing was being the strongest motherfucker on the planet. That is so, you know, I could care. That, to me, all of that stuff is meaningless now. Yeah. What I really want to do is concentrate on donor awareness, because I'm a heart recipient myself, and how important it is, because it's people dying every day that are not as fortunate as I was to receive a heart. They're waiting on the list, and they die on the list waiting to get a heart. So I want to raise as much donor awareness that I can. And the other thing I really want to do is try to fight prejudice, racism, hatred in any form and fashion that I can, because it is so.
Because you experienced that.
Man, of course I did, Sam. But
you experienced it. And I remember we were having lunch.
Yeah.
And I remember your son was called some kind of a name doing something, and he called you.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah,
we were in the middle of lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you was coaching him what to do. You know what I mean? And all that kind of stuff. You know, do you think, well, it's hard for me because I'm on the outside. Mm-hmm. You know, I was discriminated against. You know, I came in 1985 here in a little town called Sharon, Pennsylvania. There was black people, there was white people. I was the only minority in the whole town.
Right.
You know, so I know all about that. But in 2019,
yeah,
you know, we're still dealing with that.
Man, you know we are. You know we are. It's the divisiveness now is at a, you know, it's all over the news. It's at a high. We're experiencing a peak in racism once again. And I'm here, you know, it's one thing about having a transplant. I have no idea the ethnicity, race, and nationality of my donor. I have no idea. And it don't matter. No. Because 99.9% of all human beings, our DNA is exactly the fucking same. Yeah. The transplant proves that more than anything.
You got a woman's heart.
I have a woman's heart.
Superman has a woman's heart.
Superman from Compton has a woman's heart. The woman's about the same age as me. He's 57, 58 years old. And they told me, Sam, that the heart was way too small for my body. So I had everything supposedly working against me. The doctor came and told me all that shit on the same day at the same time. She's a woman, her heart's too small, and she's about your age. I'm like, damn, I thought maybe if she was 18 or Olympic athlete or something, I might have a chance. He said, no, she's an old lady, she's little. And I said, damn, all that shit hit me at the same time. So, and I'm telling you, for the rest of that day I was fucked up. And you know, I'm all over. I'm a man of faith. You know, not so much religion. I ain't a big religious man, but a man of faith. I believe in God strong. I pray, but my faith was tested that day, Sam. Yeah. I was like, whoa, a woman's heart? And I did all this studying and reading. They said anytime you take a female heart and put it in a male, the chances of survival go down a lot. And I had read that shit, and he told me that, and I was thinking, oh man, I was like, God, why did you do this? Why did you give me a woman's heart? And why did you make it an old woman? And why? I was asking all these questions. And all night I struggled with it. And by the early part of the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, a voice came to me and said, look, if I gave you this 18-year-old heart, and a young woman, a young, vital young man, you know, that everybody would expect you to make a miraculous comeback. You got this brand new heart, they expect you to. But if I give you an old lady around your age, and it's too small, female, and then you make a miracle, then they'll know that it wasn't that heart. It was me.
Yeah.
It was God.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to give me some credit then, see.
Yeah.
So I did it because I want them to know, and I want you to know, CT, more importantly, that it was God. I'm the reason you up. I'm the reason you still here. It ain't because you got this new healthy heart. It's because I'm God. And if I say that's the one for you, that's the one for you.
And like, I love what you said, man. You said like, you know, you don't know the race, the color, or
No,
ethnicity
and
of
it
the
don't
heart.
matter.
You know what I mean? So why are we caring
I'm
about that shit in 2019?
Underneath this epidermis, this skin is outer layer. We the same, bro. We are exactly the same. If I had any superpower that Superman actually had, like in the comic books, it would be X-ray vision, so you can see past the skin of another person. And see on the inside, you can see that you're looking at yourself.
Yeah.
They're just like you, 99.9% just like you. And we fighting over 1/10 of 1%. That 1/10 of 1%, that difference, that outer layer, that epidermis, the skin color, is making us like idiots and fucking fighting against each other because of some dumb shit like that. It just don't make sense. That the president or head of the Ku Klux Klan, whatever the fuck if he could take a black man, the Black Panther Party's heart, and put it in, and it would work just fine because they the fucking same. And they looking at this shit on the outside and this drawing lines, but that's some man-made shit. Underneath, we all the same.
You know, now that I have kids, you know, it's funny because, you know, I see my kids just running and being best friends with Chinese boy, black boy, Hispanic boy, all that kind of stuff. They don't know any difference. As we grown, or as we get passed along, you know, from our grand ancestors, the prejudices, that's where we become prejudiced. But if kids are born and they're just playing with each other from the very get-go, nobody knows the difference. Who's black, who's white, you know, that's something that's learned.
That's exactly
ignorance that's passed along the way.
Exactly right.
You know, and it's a shame that we don't have to talk about it in 2019.
It is a fucking shame. But it's true. It's necessary, but you're absolutely right. Kids, we can learn from the kids. We should be following their example. It don't matter. Prejudice, like you said, is learned or it's taught. It's something that's taught and passed on from generation to generation. But kids with a clean, pure heart, they don't see that. They don't see no prejudice. They don't see no skin color. We should learn from the kids, man.
I 100% agree, brother.
Yeah.
Brother, it was a pleasure being here, interviewing you. Like, you have a story that's just unbelievable. Millions and millions of people have listened to you, downloaded your stuff. You've just done so much. You are like the face of, like I said, Iron Motivation. You have a family business now. All your kids run your Iron Addict. You have your own gyms, your own line. And just watching you through the years, man. Like I said, we don't have to talk every single day, but I know that you can, you know, that I can count on you. You can count on me, and we can lift off, you know, start back when we left off, man.
Like just like it was yesterday.
I really appreciate it, but I got one question for you.
Yes, sir.
It's still my motherfucking set.
Goddamn right,
So you ready to hit it?
Are you ready to hit it?
Let's go.
Let's get it. All right.